Good evening, good evening. How are you? We are at the 6 o'clock hour getting ready for the next Woman Who Wore IGTV series interview. And guys, I'm so excited about this interview tonight. It is with one of the many women that I admire, but this woman in particular, I admire so much about her, the way she performs, the way she sings, how she shows up for her people, how she shows up for her community, and just all of the amazing things that she does and how she just delivers herself to the world is absolutely admirable and super inspiring. She's going to request to join the live in a couple of seconds or so, but I am interviewing none other than ChaChi. And for those who don't know who Miss ChaChi is, get familiar because honey is absolutely amazing and is super dope, and I cannot wait to talk with her because there's so many questions that I have for her. Oh, there she is. She just requested me, so let me bring her in here. What's up, beautiful?
How are you?
I am good. I was like, hold on, I'm gonna talk to ChaChi. Let me throw on some pink. Let me throw on an earring or something.
I put perfume on for you. I took a shower. I did my hair. I put makeup on. I was like, you know what? This is the closest thing I'll have to normal in a long time. Exactly. I was like, let me get pretty. I even put perfume on for you.
Oh, thank you, my love. Same here. The feeling is mutual. I was like, today, I interviewed Soledad Orion on Wednesday and I had no makeup on whatsoever. So today I'm putting on makeup. I'm like, I'm talking to ChaChi, I'm putting on some makeup. So first, I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this series where I get to feature incredible women like you who are just, you know, shifting the culture, making strides, female icons. And what's really dope about our story is when I first met you in Puerto Rico, when you were performing on the beach at Rocksteady, it was just so dope. And you came off that stage. That was the first time I actually became acquainted to you, like actually knew who you were, because I saw like your infamous picture with you in the Puerto Rican flag, and I didn't know that it was actually you until after you performed, and I was like, holy shit, that's ChaChi. That's the one that like moved so many people with that picture. And you were just so graceful, came off that stage, freaking killed it. And I was like, oh my God, I need to like get acquainted with this woman. And I am just a fan. You are dope as hell. And now my community is going to get a chance to learn everything about you. So let's dive right into it. So first, I want to know.
Okay, wait, I'm ready.
All right, girl, cheers. Cheers.
This was not planned, by the way, guys. We had no idea we would be drinking on this live.
No, we didn't. So my first question for you is, where did the name ChaChi come from?
All right, so my godmother used to entertain the crap out of me, or I used to entertain the crap out of all of them. And she used to put me on tables, and they used to go cha-chi, 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 cha, which actually was on a salsa song from back in the day. I'm not sure if it was Eddie Santiago or Lalo Rodriguez, but the song had that at the very ending. And I would be like, hey, hey. And La ChaChi stuck with me since I was like a tiny kid. Like my teachers would call me ChaChi, my coaches, my principals, like everyone would always call me ChaChi. So whenever someone calls me Grisel or Grisel Suhey, they know the government. I'm like,
like,
I feel like I'm in trouble. I'll be like, wait,
I know, right?
It wasn't me. So, but ChaChi has been with me for a really, really long time. And even when, you know, coming out as an independent artist, Grisel del Valle, people would be like, Grisel del Valle, La ChaChi. And I'm like, you know what? That's just what it's going to have to be, because there's no way I can get away from that name, you know?
And it fits you so well with your personality. I mean, you are ChaChi for sure.
Yeah, because my personality is very much spicy and cha-cha and all that good stuff. So it kind of like goes with the name or whatever. But I love my name. For a really long time, I didn't know why my mom named me Grisel, which is actually my father's sister's name. And he told me that she was his sister, but she practically raised him. So they were thinking of Angela, and my mom was like, Angela. And then my father was like, you know what? I want to like pay homage to my sister and everything she's done for me. So they named me after my aunt Grisel.
See, now we getting the scoop. I
You
was like,
know?
where did this come from? Where did this
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah.
And you know, ChaChi goes so well with you being such an incredible dancer because, girl, you could dance your ass off. Where does that come from? Is that training or is that natural spicy?
Okay, so it was natural spice because I mean I come from a family that loves music and loves just to party and have a good time. Funny thing is that it's me and like six of my cousins. With my brother, it's all like it's 8 of us total. And but before my brother was born, my family used to do these things with the kids where they would kind of like try to keep us entertained and kind of like they would do these little house parties or these little fashion shows or dance competitions or talent shows in the house.
Yeah.
And when I was a little girl, even now, I'm very emotional. And there's one thing I love to do is to release and feel, and that's cry. And so I would always win the talent shows. I would always win all the talent shows, right? My cousins, until this day, they're like, oh, you would only win because you would cry. You were such a crybaby. So people used to buy you a #1 prize just so they wouldn't have to hear your mouth. And I'm like, fast forward 20 years, who's the entertainer? I'm like, who's the singer? Who's the dancer? Who's the actress? I used to marimal my life away. Anything Thalia, I used to sing. Anything like Olga Tañón. Oh, I was Gloria Trevi, left and right. So music has always been very important to my family, and so it was instilled in me since I was a little girl. And you know, none of my aunts or uncles like are singers, but they all sing during the winter and during Christmas. There was always the parrandas, and so I kind of like grew up with, you know, that music just instilled in my DNA. You know, it's very therapeutic for all of us. So but yeah, I've always been that spicy little girl. Yes, always trying to, like, you know, make people have a good time and just, you know, entertain.
So when did you know that artistry was for you, that you wanted to entertain, you wanted to do this full time? When did that come to you?
Well, the funny thing is that when I was, like, I say in elementary school, Olga Tañón was like super, like, she was like my idol. After Olga was Celia, because my mom used to love Celia and Gloria Stefan. And then in elementary school also came Selena. So those women to me were like, whoa. Like when you would ask me at like 9, 10, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would say, oh, I want to be Olga Tañón. Like, I didn't know the difference. Like, oh, I want to be a singer. I want to be an entertainer. It would always be like, no, I want to be Olga Tañón. Like, that's who I want to be. Like, so I always knew in elementary school, my mom was a single parent. And if there was one thing she did, she always kept me very entertained. I played the trumpet. I was a baton twirler. I competed in beauty pageants. I was part of a dance company. I was always part of the choir. Like, my mom always made sure that I didn't have idle time. Like she always made sure that I was doing something and that I was entertained. You know, coming from North New Jersey, the hood, you know, you kind of have to inspire your children and keep them, you know, like como occupied, because if they have too much time in their hands, then that's where there's time to, you know, to go down the wrong path. And so if there's one thing I thank my mom is that she always, like, you know, she encouraged me, and she encouraged me until like after high school. And then after high school, she was like, you need a real job, until she got me off Broadway in the Celia musical. And then she was like, oh my God, my daughter, oh my God. And I'm like, you see, sometimes they have to see it like for real and have see other people applaud you to believe it themselves. But after high school, I was traveling the world with my dance company. I was able to visit countries like Australia, Czech Republic, London, Switzerland, Germany, Italy. So I was 18 and I was literally traveling all over the place. So I just thank her, because she was a single parent, but she definitely, like, she did right by me.
Yeah. Shout out to the strong woman in our lives.
Yeah, I was raised by 3 incredible strong women, and that was my mom, my mom Marisol, my godmother Maggie, and my grandmother Elo. So those 3 women, they were like, you know, my rays of sunlight, and even till this day, before I do anything, I always try to think of them. I think of my nieces and my nephews. I you know, my family is so important to me, and before I make anyone else proud, I want to make myself proud, but second comes my family. It's very important.
And that's one of the reasons why I think so many people gravitate to you, because you have this soul. You have like this purity to you, and it like shines through you. It like beams. It like beams off of you. And I picked up on it when you were performing on stage. I wasn't even next to you, and I was like, there's some light, there's something is happening, there's some energy right there, like it exudes out of you, which is special and unique, because not a lot of people have that.
That was a very special performance for me. A lot of people know that after Hurricane Maria, I served with a group of girls from Newark, New Jersey, Tainas Unidas, and for a year we did as much as possible for Puerto Rico. And so to be able to come back a couple years later and perform in Isabela, which was one of the, we stationed in the West Side when we first started serving the island, and be able to perform there, it was a little bit more intimate for me, and it was very emotional for me too, you know, to see how in 2 years we still weren't up and running the way we should have been, and just, you know, but being able to do that festival and bring awareness to the island and bring money back into the island, and it be like one of my first performances with my own music, because, you know, I'm used to performing and doing stuff with other people, other artists, or doing my burlesque shows or doing my stuff where it's covers, unplugged, but it's very rare. Like that was what you witnessed. You witnessed what's my EP, what's supposed to come out this July. That's what you witnessed.
Oh.
Basically, what I gave you guys, no one has heard that music besides La Tentación and Déjate Ver. The other 3 songs, no one's heard them but the people in that festival.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and Nicky Jam.
We had that honor because you
yeah.
I
was
like literally like in awe, like your voice is angelic. But I want to talk about advocacy, because I know you are a strong advocate in the community. How did that come about? How did you get into that space?
Well, you know what it is, like I said, since I was always involved in something since I was young, I always knew what that community effort was about, and what, you know, teamwork, and being in dance companies, being in varsity softball, it was always about teamwork. My family has always been the type that hoy por ti, mañana por mí. So we always tend to take care of one another, because we know that we never know if we're ever going to be in a situation or in a position where, you know, we're going to need the help. So since I was little, they've always instilled the sharing, you know, the not being greedy, the praying for people, you know, like that. It comes from my family, to be quite honest. And then I've always have had a giving heart. Before Hurricane Maria, I had gone to Montego Bay, and I had taken a lot of stuff out there to Dominican Republic, to, you know, I've always wanted to give back. I've been blessed with, like, you know, I'd say material stuff that once you finish using it, or you're like, okay, so I could throw this away, but it's in great conditions. Like, why would I throw it away? So we've always been the type to give to churches, and like kind of like, you know, clean out, make sure that it's in good conditions, and always give to thy neighbor. And when obviously Puerto Rico suffered Hurricane Maria, that was very personal. My family is Puerto Rican. My mother and father are both from the island. Me and my cousins were the first generation in the United States. So, but it was, my mom has always like instilled my heritage in me, and she's always made sure that I know where I come from. So giving back to Puerto Rico, like, was super important, you know? And yeah, like, I guess people saw it more because there's social media now and stuff like that. But I had been doing this before Hurricane Maria, you know, but there was never really a reason to advertise it or to tell people what I was doing. But after a while, I started looking at it like, you know what, this could inspire other people to do it. So no, I'm not showing you what I'm doing because I want you to clap for me, because I don't need that applause. I know when it's time to shine, I could shine.
Right.
But I would definitely post it or mention it, because I wanted to inspire people to do the same thing I was doing, or to give a little bit more, you know, like, even if it was at a total stranger in Chipotle, like, if he's hungry, buy him a burrito or something, like small stuff. It doesn't have to be like, buy them a house. Like, you know, it's just about always giving back. I always say this, and this is very important to me. If when you look at people, you don't see yourself in them, and vice versa, then as a human being, you're not connected the way you should be connected. You know, if I'm not treating you like I want to be treated, then I'm fucked up.
Right.
You know, so it's about being more compassionate, having like an open heart of real love. And we don't know the battles that we're going through. No one knows the battles that we're going through. Sometimes the strongest people will be the ones with the smile on their face, acting like they got everything cool, calm, collected, under control, and they're broken and they're going crazy inside, you know? So it's like, you know, sometimes before you say something funny, or before you say a stupid comment, or before you write a stupid comment, I saw a meme the other day that said, like, writing a stupid comment or writing a comment to somebody, like, you know, going tick for tack is like seeing shit on the floor and stepping on it. Like, dude, walk around the shit.
Right,
you know?
right. Right.
I always say this. My mother taught me this. If you don't got nothing nice to say, Grisel del Valle, cállate la boca. So, you know, if you don't got something nice to say, yo, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Keep your words, keep your opinion to yourselves, because we don't know the battles that we're going through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the one thing we can't see. So it's about being more compassionate and more humane, like, you know.
Right. Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for choosing to publicize the work that you do in Puerto Rico, and also just your cultura and how much you believe in the culture, because it did inspire other people. And I also think it's really important for the world to see how we as a people love on each other, and how much community means, and how much we show up for each other, and how much vibrancy and color is in our cultura. And so we need people to continuously shine that light, because it's important, because people come to our island and they feel it and they see it, but nobody does it like us, baby. Nobody.
No, I got goosebumps right now just you saying that. I remember going out there after the hurricane and serving, and these people barely had anything. And the moment we would get there, they were offering us food. They were offering us the little water that they had. And meanwhile, we're like, no, we're bringing you water. We're bringing you. And they're like, no, coma, pero coma un poquito. O toma una agüita, ¿quieres café? And it's like, yo, we're so giving and beautiful, you know. I wish I could change everything that's happening, you know, all over the world and on my island, you know, but we could do but so much. And if we could have one person's world, 2 people, 3 people, that's enough. This also taught me that you cannot put the weight of the world on your shoulders. Because after serving and after doing that, I was a bit broken. So it's all about, you know, you pour love and you pour into others, but you also got to pour into yourself.
Absolutely. And you need to surround yourself with people who pour into you as well. So shout out to everybody that's in here. I see Deborah in Puerto Rico. Everybody's leaving comments. Shout out also so Boo making an appearance, which brings me to my next question. So you are gorgeous, stunning. So how is it for you as an independent artist, or just an artist in general, being a beautiful woman, working in the entertainment industry? How has that worked for you? What challenges have you come across? How have you had to, you know, did you consciously decide to show up in rooms in a certain way because you knew people may not take you seriously because of your beauty or because of your experience? Have you gone through any of that?
Look, being a woman in the music industry is difficult. Being an independent artist and a woman in the music industry is even more difficult. I don't ever try to change myself. I am me. You take it or you leave it, but I am going to be me with or without you. If there's one person that I have to fucking look out for, that's me. So I'm never going to change my MO or how I come or try to like overanalyze or overthink how people going to think of me or look at me. Listen, baby, I'm not $100 bill. Not everybody's going to like me. And if half of the people that I come across, I change them or I make them feel something, then my mission was accomplished. No, but it's true. It's true, because a lot of people come into situations and listen, it's hard. It's hard. And being any beautiful girl, being any pretty girl that's trying to do something in the arts is always going to be a little bit more difficult, because this is a man's world, and that's the truth. But my talent speaks for itself. So I didn't ever have to lose my integrity in the process of what it is that I'm going after. And I always tell these young girls coming up into the industry, and listen, this is a hard industry, and you have to have a very thick skin and know exactly who you are before you walk into that door. Because if somebody's opinion or somebody's like, you know, oh, I'm all for molding, I'm all for growth, I'm all for, you know, helping, especially when it comes to pioneers and colleagues that have been in the industry longer and definitely have, like, they know the ropes and stuff. Obviously you want to learn from those people, but you can't let people change you and what you stand for. That's one thing that I don't care. People were like, oh, but don't do salsa because I want to dance with somebody. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, but you should know I'm going to do urban project with a fusion of Latin pop and tropical because that's who I am.
Right.
I'm not trying to do what everybody's doing. I'm not Nati. I'm not this one. I'm not that one. I am me. I am ChaChi. And the only person I got to look out for and be true to is me. And so I'll tell you this. My guys love me. In the industry, listen, they say, like, I always joke around with the guys because I was part of a band, 15 musicians. I was the only girl. I was the only girl for 4 years. I did every style of music from Latin pop, English, Motown, disco, ballads, top 40s. What didn't I do? So I was Lady Gaga, Aretha Franklin, Celia Cruz, Patsy Cline, Etta James. I was all those people, you know, for this band. But being around so many men that protected me, that loved me, that respected me, I also became one of the guys. And this is one thing that I have to tell you. Everyone that I've come across in this industry says that they love my energy and they love how I make them feel. Why? Because I have an open mind. I don't get offended easily. I talk that shit and they love it because they know I'm raw and I'm real. They know that I'm not trying to act like somebody I'm not to get somebody else's approval. Only approval I need is mine and God. That's it. Everybody else is secondary, you know? So they love that. Like, I remember not too long ago, I went into the studio with Romeo to do like 2 lines on something that he was remixing. And he's like, yo, I fucking love your energy, man. And I'm like, yeah, because the only person I know how to be is me. And I'm never going to change who I am. And I know sometimes I'm very opinionated and some people might take that pill a little too hard and they don't know how to swallow. But listen, I'm human. I make mistakes. You know, I'm the first person to apologize when I think, you know, I kind of like maybe was too tough with somebody or gave that tough love. But I only know how to be me, you know, and I think that everyone I've come across in this industry, everyone from Nicky Jam to his management, from Don Omar, from freaking Romeo's camp, everybody, they know that I'm as raw and as real as it gets, you know? I'm the type of person where, yeah, I'm going to stand up for us. And if something's not right, guess who's the one that's going to go knock on the door and talk? Because like my mom says, yo no tengo pelo en la lengua. But then she also tells me, tú sabes que calladita te ves más bonita. I'm like, all right, Ma, I get it. But, you know, it's be you, be real. Be you, be real. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. So where did this confianza come from?
I think this confianza came from being insecure for a really long time. I think it came from being... I mean, when I was in elementary school, I was bullied and stuff like that because I was the girl that was doing the most. You know, so certain kids didn't understand it as to why I was getting all the choir solos or why I was doing the instrument and why I was part of the drama club and why I was part of it. Like, so, you know, but at the same time, being on stage gave me that confianza. It created a whole other person, you know, like to be quite honest with you, for a really long time, I was a lot more comfortable on stage than I was in real life. Because you got to, not a lot of people know this, but when I was in, you know, high school touring with my company afterwards for those 3-4 years that I was touring with them, I was overweight. I weighed up to 190 pounds. I'm 5'3".
No.
Yeah. And on top of that, I was the baby. So I was the youngest one in my dance company. And then I was getting people like, yo, you know, like the way you dance as a big girl, thank you so much for representing us. Thank you. So I was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I am one of the big girls.
Yeah.
I am, you know, I'm here. I am the opportunity that lets those girls see somebody like them on stage in a professional company, traveling all over the globe. So I think that all my insecurities led to the woman that I am now, that I'm so confident. And don't get me wrong, there's days that you feel great and there's days that you don't feel so great, you know, but I've learned to accept myself, flaws and all, to love myself, flaws and all, no matter what size I am. Even if I go back to 190 pounds, I know that I'm a beautiful soul and I know that I'm an incredible woman. So whether I'm 135 or 185, like I know me, my heart, and you know, my values, and you know, so I think all those other times though created that courage and created this person that I am today, you know?
So in order to be confident, you have to experience insecurity.
You gotta.
Yes.
You have to.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
even when you're the most secure, when you're a professional in your field, doing what you want and doing this, there's still going to be things that are going to trigger, you know, that are going to trigger you. But it's about like learning how to deal, you know, and learning how to feel. Because sometimes we want to numb and we don't want to feel. We don't want to. And then when all that shit builds up and then it hits you like a pound of bricks, then it's a little too much. So you got to go through it, you know, go through it. If somebody says something that triggers you, ask yourself, why are you letting it trigger you? Ask yourself, why are you giving it the power? Why does that have power over you to trigger you? And that's how I started like understanding myself better, you know, and reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love to read.
Yeah. So talk to us about your weight loss journey. Did something happen that made you want to lose weight? And I know you're super fit now and you're very health conscious. I always tune in with your NutriBurst thing going on now and all that. But talk to us about that.
So, all right. So being 185 pounds, it was difficult on my body. It really, really was. And I remember I was part of a show, and I know Stracy's in this chat checking us out. And you remember Havana After Dark in Atlantic City. And I must have been like 19 years old. And I remember the producer of that company. He used to weigh all the girls every week. Weigh them.
Wow.
He used to weigh them. He used to have he had people weighing us, but he had he would mark us. And if we were gaining weight, losing weight, etc., and that was like a mental turmoil because, you know, as women, our weight fluctuates when we are PMSing. We retain water. So there's things that happen to the female body that don't really happen to the male body every month. You know, starting with the hormonal imbalance.
Right.
And so he had told me that if I lost weight, that he would pay me more. Wow. And I remember I started this thing at like $600 a week. And I started losing weight. Why? Because ChaChi cha-ching kicked in. I was like, so if I lose weight, you will pay me more. Okay, no problem. So it wasn't even for me. It was more of now I want this money. This money. If I gotta freaking hold my mouth, and I had people like Stracy, she's a stunt woman, bodybuilder, an incredible dancer, awesome friend, cuddler, and she helped me. I remember we would go to the cafeteria at the Tropicana Hotel, and she'd be like, you know, she calls me Princess Sparky. She's like, Princess, you can't have that. Princess, cut this out. Actually, these are good carbs. Don't stay away from those. Do this. Don't do that. Not at this time. Do that in the morning. So she was able to like help me out. And then them telling me, yo, I'll pay you more. That's what started everything. And then of course I started, it was like a trial and error. So when I had the food down pack, I wasn't working out. And then when I had the workout down pack, I still didn't know the food science. And then I went by, I actually had a trainer who changed my life, and I will give him props until the end of it, because he taught me so much about proper form when you're working out. He taught me about the science of keeping the metabolism pumping, eating every 2.5, 3 hours. He taught me about, you know, portion control, drinking that water. So Yusuf Myers, PRX, they know I love him. He knows I love him and everything he stands for. But he actually helped me. Like, this was like years later. And yeah, I was going through a breakup. So that's always motivation. Always motivation for that. But he helped me in that delicate time that I was going through. He definitely helped me. He transformed my body. Even now, I say that I have my baby abs and like my muscle definition because of what he did to my body, you know? So it came from, it started off as, I'll offer you more money. And I was like, wait, what? So I wasn't even looking at it as the health thing. And now, fast forward how many years later, health is the most important thing. Like, if we're not healthy, I can't entertain you. If you're not healthy, you wouldn't be able to have this little show. If you know, even people that you see publicly, if we're not healthy, we have a problem. And I think what's happening right now is a perfect example of health is wealth, and you should really, really, really be investing into your health first and foremost. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna drink my glass of wine. I am going to ask my man to make me chicken and waffles because he knows I love that dish. That's my favorite.
And he's a chef, honey. Okay.
Yeah. Girl, God loves me. I tell you, he loves me.
I'll be like, oh, ChaChi got Chef Kelvin. That girl good.
Oh, girl.
She eating real good.
I'm blessed. Yes, I am. Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Shout out to all the good fellas out there. Yes.
Yes, shout out to all the men that take care of their women, you know, not only their tummies, but their mind, their body, and their soul, because it's very important to find a partner that really complements you in all the aspects of life, you know. And I've been very blessed, but I've also, before him, I've been very hurt, and I've gone through a lot of years of turmoil and bullshit and just toxic relationships. So if there's one thing that I'm grateful for, is God sending me somebody that is healthy for me, healthy for my soul, you know, not because of his food, because that's secondary and that's like the cherry on top, you know, but somebody who really compliments me and really like loves me, flaws and all, like, and vice versa, because we're not perfect. But I think the fact that we're so transparent with one another, I think that's the beauty of the connection that him and I have.
Yes, and I love watching it. It's like a love story unfold. You guys tell it so well. You guys are the cutest.
Oh, shut up. You're gonna be
about. No, for real, you guys are so adorable. I love you two together. I want to talk about relationships because I find that women who are in the spotlight, women who are doing their thing, women who are trailblazers, who don't hold their tongue, right? Who say what they feel, intimidate a lot of men. And so did you experience that in your personal life, even in your business life? And how did you manage that?
Listen, I even have women who tell me you could be very intimidating. And I hate it, but I love it at the same time, because I think it says more about you than it does about me.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You know? Yeah. And so of course, I have guys who they've told me that I've intimidated, or they're like, I didn't know how to approach you. And, you know, but once again, it depends what kind of man. If an alpha woman intimidates you, then you are not the man for that alpha woman. It takes a very strong-minded gentleman to be in a relationship with an alpha woman who's not going to shut up, who's not going to shut up, who's going to speak her mind, who's going to, I have a voice the same way you have a voice, and we're going to do this. Even if we agree to disagree, but you're going to listen to me. You're going to hear me, and I'm going to hear you. And so it takes a strong guy to do that, you know. And I've had for a long time people tell me, oh, you could be intimidating. I'm sure of who I am, you know, and I've been with me for 34 years. So if me being comfortable in my skin intimidates you, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Right.
I didn't intimidate you. You felt intimidated. That has everything to do with you and nothing to do with me.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
So yeah, that's where I come from with that. But it is, I always get it. I mean, I'm a Leo. I'm a fire sign. You know? I come straight for the boom. You know what I always say? I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit, because then you'll probably eat it too. You know what I so like, listen, I'm as raw as it comes. You either love it or you don't. But you know, like I said, I have to be me for me.
Yeah, definitely. Did you ever feel like
I can't tone me down, and
I was just gonna ask you that question.
No one
gotta tone it
down in order to feel like people are gonna accept you because you're toned down. Or no. If you don't accept me at my real, then what are we doing? That goes in relationships, in friendships, in work colleagues, in everything. You know what I mean? Like, don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful. Like, there's a way. Approach is very important, and there's a way to talk to people, and there's a way to, you know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you gotta know who you are.
Yes, definitely. All right, ChaChi. So when we were talking about this interview, you said I could ask you anything.
I mean, ask me anything, because at this point, I'm not even, there's no filter.
So this is what I'm gonna ask you. Can you do like a little mini concert for us? Can you sing a little something? Can you do a little something?
You know, I gotta be honest with you. I put my face on today because I wanted to feel normal, but you see, and my heart starts beating real fast. Bill Withers passed away today, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I love his music. Like, loved and love his music. So I'll give you a little something. It's not gonna be perfect, but
No, give it
that's
to
a little
us. Give
shake
it
and
to
shit.
us.
But it goes ay Dios. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. It's just cold when he's away. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away, I wonder this time where he's gone. I wonder if he's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime he goes away. I know. He ain't leaving young thing alone, 'cause ain't no sunshine when he's gone.
Oh my goodness, you just blessed us. Thank you. Everybody better be throwing them hearts right now. Better be throwing those hearts, because this was not planned and she just killed it. As always.
No, it wasn't planned. And I told you, a lot of people usually ask me before they interview me, oh, what can we, like, what's off? Like, what can't we ask you about, or what can we ask you about? And I think it's so important to show transparency, and I think there's always a way to answer questions. So that's why I was like, no, babe, whatever you want to ask me, I'm an open book. Like,
and I appreciate that. And that just goes back to you being as raw and as candid as you've ever been, and why you got into where you are, why people love your energy. It is that realness that is scarce, right? It's what's missing in the world. We need more of that. So I appreciate you being so open to these questions, and just being able to share yourself. So the last question that I ask everybody that joins me on the series is, why are you a woman who roars?
Oof. I'm a woman who roars because I'm a woman of value. I'm a woman of fire in my veins. I have stardust in my veins. I am a proud Boricua who is trying to help the world, whether it be with loving people more, whether it be with putting music out that's therapeutic, whether it be helping the neighbor, or, just being an example, an example that is flawed, because no one is perfect in this planet. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone falls. Everyone has to pick themselves up at a certain point. So I just want to be, I want to be someone that's relatable, someone that people see and they're like, you know what? That she is the girl next door. She's also the bitch next door. I like her. Her. You know what I mean? Because, you ain't trying to be Miss Goody Two Shoes either. You're trying to let people know, like, I'm very passionate when it comes to things I believe in. And when it comes to, like, justice and just a little bit of everything, So I just want to be an example to people, I roar because I'm a Leo. So I roar naturally.
Talk about it.
I roar naturally. But no, it's important to, show transparency in this day and age when everybody has a filter in front of their face and everyone's trying to act like someone else for approval. So I'm a woman who roars because I'm okay being myself.
Thank you. Thank you for being the woman that you are. Thank you for being a woman who roars. Thank you for joining me on this series. Thank you for serenading us. Woo! We got.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Keep all this going. I'm very proud of you. I remember you asking me back in June of last year, like, hey, if I do something, would you be interested? And I was like, absolutely. Yes. Why? Because I think it's important. I mean, for any artist, I'm an independent artist, and I'm not where I'm trying to go right now, but at the same time, I think it's important to talk to people. It's important to like communicate and not act like I'm too good for something. I don't care if there was 2 people in this freaking live right now. I really don't. None of that phases me. I saw somebody say the other day, oh, somebody said I wanted to do a makeup class on live, but for what? For 3 people? And I'm like, yeah. That's 3 people you're inspiring. That's 3 people that you are entertaining. That's 3 people that are going to learn from you. You got to start somewhere. And if you're too bougie to open up to 3 people because you wanted 30 or 3,000 or 20,000, you're never going to be able to appreciate when you do have those 20,000 people tuning in. So to me, whether it's 2 people or just me and you on this live, baby girl, I did my part. I'm helping my sister out in a dream that she believes in. And because I see myself in you and I want people to believe in my dream and invest in me and in what I'm trying to do, why would I not want to do something like this?
Yes. Talk that shit, girl. Yes, yes, yes.
That's why I'm
done. All right, wait. You just got me in one more question because I was like, oh, I got to ask you this.
Go
because
ahead.
You perform in front of thousands of people. You perform with people like who we love, Mr. Santos, Bad Bunny, Nicky Jam, all of this. Like, how do you get up in front of those crowds? Do you have butterflies?
Nope.
Do you ever get nervous?
Nope.
No. Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I was more nervous getting up on stage in Isabela, Puerto Rico, in my land, and entertain my people with my music. That made me more nervous than being in Madison Square Garden, than performing with Don Omar, than performing with Romeo, than doing shows for other people, like than doing Broadway shows. Like none of that. Like when it's mine, it's personal, and because I care so much and I love my craft so much, and I want people to accept what I am giving, like wholeheartedly, that makes me nervous. Yes. You know, there's been times where my makeup artist is like, why are you nervous for a photo shoot? I'm like, well, because it's my photo shoot and I want it to be great. Like there's a lot at stake here. Right. But I think like the times that I've gone on stage with the guys or you know, with different artists, Tito Nieves, Olga Tañón, like I know I belong on stage. I know God gave me this gift to do what I'm doing. So it doesn't like, it's like, how could I be nervous when I'm more comfortable on stage than in real life half of the time? You know what I mean? Like, so to me, it's like, it's anxiety, but in a good way. It's anxiousness, but in a good way. It's I'm ready. I remember when we trained for MetLife, that's the biggest audience I've ever performed for. And some people were like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, yeah.
How many people was that?
Oh my God, girl. 82,500 souls.
Oh my goodness.
You know how much I prayed on that stage while I was up there?
I'm sure you
know how much I prayed on every artist that came on stage? You know how much I prayed for my brother Romeo? You know how much I prayed for everyone who was in that place, that everybody would get home safe? Nobody knows the thoughts that go through my mind when I'm on stage. Nobody. And little do they know that I'm manifesting. I'm setting intentions into the universe. I'm taking it in. The same way I'm giving you energy, I am taking energy from you. Like, it's so important. And so energy is real.
Oh, yes, it is, girl.
Oh, girl, energy is real. And so that day, I remember I was like, I thank God so much on that stage. Like, it was something that I'm and even, you know, with everything that's happening around us, I mean, today's my day 20 in my house, and I think like the first week that all this was happening here, I was already aware of what was happening in Wuhan in January because I like to read. I was already aware of what was happening in Italy and in all these places, and I was scared and you know, fearful that we weren't going to take actions fast enough. And I remember like the first week that I was here, I had a moment of reflection, and it humbled me. It made me drop down to my knees, and I thanked God for every stage that I've come across. I thank God for every person that I've ever touched, physically and just, you know, through my energy, because I am so blessed. And even if tomorrow wasn't tomorrow and whatever, you know, it was a moment of complete gratitude to my higher source, where I was completely okay with whatever happens moving forward, you know. And I hadn't sometimes we're so busy thinking of the future that's not real, because it's not here. And the only thing that's real is this present moment. The past is not real and the future is not real. The only thing real is what's happening right this second. And so many times you're living life so fast and you're thinking, I want to do this, I want to do that. I had all these plans for this year, all these plans, you know, and I look at it like, you know what? I am in complete gratitude with everything I've been given. The little bit I've been giving, the lots that I've been giving, the places I've been able to witness and see, the cultures and the countries I've been able to fucking visit. I'm sorry to say fucking, but sometimes when I get passionate, I curse.
Yes.
You know, like the relationships that didn't work, this relationship that is working, the stages that I've graced, the people that I've loved, the people who hate me that I still pray for, or the people, the trolls that send me weird messages, and I don't kill people with kindness. I heal them with kindness. I always say something and I make sure I bless them at the end of everything. You know what I mean? So it was a moment of complete gratitude. And I think everybody should take this time to reflect. I think it's important for everybody to take this time to pray, because that frequency of prayer, it's real. I don't care if you pray to a higher source. I don't care if you pray to Jesus. I don't care if you pray to Allah. I don't care if you pray to the Orishas. I don't care who you pray to. But now is the time to pray. I know that we need the little bit of entertainment that we have with these lives. I know that we need the little bit of a mental escape, and we go into a Netflix or we go into Hulu and we see things. But I need people to stay present in this moment. And I need people to read. I need people to read what's happening with 5G. I need people to be very aware. I need people to Google stuff now that we still have access to the internet and to these outlets. I need people to educate themselves, because one thing I feel, we're not going to be the same after this. We're not. I feel that in every chakra of my body. And we have to be smart. And if you need your mental break, take your mental break. Take your health day. I've shut off my phone in this time. I've read books. I've colored. I've done word puzzles. I've gotten to know my grandmother in a whole other intimate level, where my grandmother has always been my MVP. But I stories of my family that I didn't know of, coming from Puerto Rico back in the day when we came. There's so much. I just need everybody to stay present. And it's okay to feel like shit some days, because some days are going to be greater than others. Today, I told my friend Selena Sleva early in the morning, because we've been each other's rock throughout this whole thing. I'm like, you know what, Kitty? Today, I don't want to cry, because I've been crying. I'm like, today I don't want to cry. Today I want to laugh and I want to inspire. So we've been throwing jokes left and right to another, finding jokes and trying to find the funny, but all I ask is that you guys try to find the blessing in this lesson. There's a reason as to why this is happening. There's a reason as to why the earth needed a break. There's a reason as to why the animals deserve to freaking live freely for a little bit. The pollution has gone down. There's animals coming out from places that we haven't seen in years. Water is clearing up. Mother Earth is aching and hurting. And we're the ones doing it to her.
Right.
So I just need people to stay present. I'm not saying don't go on Netflix. Girl, I've seen series. What haven't I seen? I saw Orthodox thing, because I had done a lot of Jewish weddings, and I'm like, I just want to learn about that culture a little bit.
Right.
I saw this Orthodox series. They were talking in these languages that I'm reading subtitles. My grandma's like, what are you doing? I'm like, Grandma, I'm just learning. I'm trying to numb myself and kind of be present. But it's time for compassion and love and prayer and education. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Do what you got to do. Be nosy. Be nosy. Why is this 5G thing being built all over the place? Did 5G get released in Wuhan? Just be aware of what's happening. You know what I mean? Look for holistic. I'm not into Western medicine. And this is the reason as to why I'm pushing this NutriBurst and I'm pushing this holistic stuff. Why? Because this is about health and wellness. This is not about freaking consuming drugs and chemicals that are going to make our bodies go all types of crazy. And then the medication that's que te ayuda with one thing, the medication that helps you with one thing is actually fucking up the other organ, Right. And then I see all my people who, they buying their hookahs, they're smoking, they're doing this. Listen, I'm not telling you not to, but I'm you got to be smarter than that.
Right,
if this is something that's affecting the lungs,
right.
Why would you want to pollute your lungs right now? You can't take a break.
Right.
So it's about like, I'm pushing this NutriBurst. I'm pushing these, CBD oils because I know the benefits that CBD has. And I know that, one little plant that they've tabooed because they don't want it to be a threat to the medicinal and pharmaceutical industry, is being looked at as a negative thing. And it's like, no, my people, we need to wake up now. Then you have the people, oh, but is it going to come up in my drug test? Or is it, am I going to get high? No. Educate yourselves.
Right.
You can ask me all the questions you want, but Google. We have access to a portal that gives us information right now. Y'all motherfuckers better start taking advantage of that now that we have it.
Mm-hmm.
China and Russia and a lot of these places don't have access to the internet the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
They can't look up stuff the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying don't get on Netflix, but I'm saying educate yourself at the same time.
Right.
We idolize so many people. This is another thing. I've been cleaning out my Instagram left and right. Why? Because of the stupidity that I see people posting.
Mm-hmm.
There's people hurting and mourning right now. And we're like, I know that, a little funny helps and stuff, but you got to be, considerate of people who are losing their loved ones. Because if you were losing your loved one, you would not think that joke was funny.
Right.
So it's just about being a little bit more aware,
Yes.
Sorry,
that is a great way to end today, keeping people focused, keeping people intentional, keeping people present. I hope this interview made you smile today. I hope it brought some joy to you because you did accomplish what you set out to do today by inspiring us, by educating us, and by reminding us of the badass that we are. So thank you. And everybody go over to ChaChi's page. Go get that NutriBurst. Go get that CBD oil. Get your mind right. Get your life right. Get your health right. Okay?
Especially with all the anxiety that all of my brothers and sisters are feeling right now. This media could be very devastating. And they could, the fact that they're recycling a lot of information and repeating the same thing over and over and over. It's fear that's being instilled in each and every one of us. And that fear brings down our frequency. That's why I say pray. So it's not even all about being healthy with, the natural stuff, but it's about spiritually connecting yourself right now to whatever source you want to connect yourself to, Yeah. I love y'all, each and every one of you. People that I don't know, people that I do know, people that support me, people that don't support me. I love each and every one of y'all. And if we're here today, it's for a reason. So we have to make it work and we have to make it count, like for real, for real.
Definitely. Thank you. Abrazos, besos,
I love you, mommy.
all that good stuff. Appreciate you, mama. And I
cheers.
Balance. Cheers.
Balance, baby. NutriBurst and wine.
Bye, mama.
Bye, my love. Thank you so much for your time and your platform. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Bye.
Hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.